The Constitution was written in 1787. People do not realize how difficult the Constitution was to write. In May of 1787, the delegates gathered at the State House in Philadelphia. We sat down to write an improvement to the Articles of Convention. After 2 weeks, there's no way. We cannot improve that. That is so bad. We need a central government. Every window, every door was closed. Because if Congress found out what we were doing, they'd have stopped us. Mm-hmm. You're going through June, July, and August. You ever been in Philadelphia in those months?
No.
It's warm.
Kind of like you.
It gets very warm. Now every window, every door is closed. There is a guard standing outside of every window. He is 5 foot off of the window. He cannot hear what's going on. The guard at the door, again, he is off the door. Nobody's allowed in. We took all that time to write the Constitution. There were many arguments going back and forth. We would discuss something and say, okay, we got that settled. Let's move on. A week later, somebody would say, I got a question on that one over there. We'd start all over again. That's why it took us so long. It came late August. We finally decided this is what we can have. We gave it to Madison to rewrite and put it down on paper. If you would have waited for the secretary of the convention, you'd still be waiting because he took very poor notes. Madison was took everything down very carefully. He put together the Constitution. On the 17th day of September, 1787, we gathered again, in the State House. The Constitution was read to us. Again, somebody stood up. At that point, now I was carried in and out of the State House in a sedan chair. I could not walk. I did not rise almost never in that whole convention, a couple of times. All my speeches were given by someone else. I'd write it, this is what I want to say. I took my knuckles, pushed down on the table, stood up, and said, gentlemen, while I do not agree with this document, it is the best as we mortal men can do. Give it to the people. Let them decide. And I sat back down. And Washington, who was the president, said, we shall sign in state order. You would rise, walk up, one at a time, not en masse. Sign the Constitution, go sit down. Came my turn. Again, I pushed down on the table so I could stand. 2 hands came on my shoulder, pushed me down. What is this? They do not want my signature. Then I looked, the Constitution was brought up, set down onto my table. That's where I signed it, at my table. And it's proven, you talk to curators and they'll say, well, there are tear stains on that document. Mine. I cried. We finally did it.
Amazing.
After it was all done, I was escorted out of the State House in my sedan chair. The chair was stopped. The wife of the mayor of Philadelphia stopped it and said, well, Mr. Franklin, just what have you done for us? And very sarcastically, and I looked at her and said, Madam, we have given you a document to rule your country if you can keep it. That was my final words. Constitution, you have it. Read it, listen to it, obey it. You don't like it? That's fine. We made a provision that all you need is 2/3 of your neighbors to agree with you, and you can change it. People ask, well, why didn't you put something in like to guarantee people's different freedoms? We tried. but nobody could agree on what put in there. Congress sat down and did it for us. You have a wonderful document. Follow it and be happy.